Welcome to our Fall 2022 show for the USF Vessel Online. I'm Josh Wary.
And I'm Izzy Morin. Today's show will feature stories on the many activities throughout this year's homecoming week, including games, festivities, and a few shows.
It was a busy week for the Cougars, featuring various activities meant to bring students together in the spirit of homecoming. One popular activity was Grocery Bag Bingo. Xavier Blackwell has more on the story.
Dozens of students at the University of Sioux Falls came together this Thursday, September 22nd, each trying to win bags of free groceries by playing rounds of bingo. Grocery Bag Bingo, as the event is called, is usually held during USF's Homecoming Week, aka Cougar Days. Amber Tebby, a student and member of the Cougar Activity Board, says its continued popularity will keep it coming back.
Grocery Bag Bingo is usually a traditional event. We have it at least once a semester.
Tebby says that the period leading up to Cougar Days is an exciting yet busy time.
Oh, it's always fun. Yeah, our homecoming is like cab full week.
Grocery Bag Bingo, which is held in the lecture hall known as Big Z, has students filling out wacky shapes on bingo cards and playing fun tiebreakers, such as rock, paper, scissors, and dance battles. Lily Kale, a freshman at USF who won a grocery bag of goodies, speaks about the importance of campus events like this.
Yeah, I think it's better for people to get involved and to meet new people, so I think things like this are fun.
Grocery Bag Bingo is sponsored by the Cougar Activity Board, who generously provided the bags of prizes. For the Vessel Online, I'm Xavier Blackwell.
Students who may have missed this semester's Night of Bingo fun shouldn't fret, as the event will be returning this spring.
Students can still enjoy a spectacular art show located in the Jeske Gallery featuring art from alumni and faculty. Daniel Hoopa talked to participants about the event.
Hello, my name is Joe Schaefer. I'm the professor of graphic design here at USF. I'm also the gallery director. This is my piece for the faculty and alumni exhibition this year. They're actually a collection of NFTs. The concept is essentially forms derived from my 2D paintings represented in a 3D digital format. So these are just digital representations of those configurations. And so this is the first NFT collection I've done. So this is just sort of the reel of all the NFTs rotating. There's 10 of them total, and there's a QR code on the tag too that takes you to the actual collection, so you can see all the individual NFTs too.
Piece was purely experimental. It happened right before COVID hit, and I was working with powdered pigments and encaustic. First time I've ever done that. It's a really intricate process, a lot more involved than what I thought. So this was the first piece that I did with encaustic and some cardboard that I pulled up. You can see this is the texture. You can tell that that's the wax. There was some paper in there that I pulled off. Anyway, it was highly experimental, and I absolutely loved it. And I went, okay, I'm going to do, a whole series of paintings like this. And then COVID happened. And you know what happened there. Yeah. And so then this all stopped, and I started doing very dark tar pieces related to COVID. So post-COVID world, Cece's coming back to do more pieces like this with dry pigments and encaustic.
I'm Cody Hendricks. I am adjunct professor at the University of Sioux Falls and curator of the pavilion. I teach sculpture and art history. The sculpture is called Campaign. It's from a show that I had in 2017. The premise of the show, the title of the show is Icon and Artist. The entirety of the work was kind of subversive art history. So I had read this article that Abraham Lincoln carried an axe on the campaign trail, and he did it to appear more like the common man. And so I loved this idea of taking an Abraham Lincoln sculpture and changing the narrative of art history. So to cast the Abraham Lincoln head with a hickory handle coming out of the body of the form. The exterior surface is glow-in-the-dark aquarium rocks. So there's about 300 pounds of them, and so the object is like very, very, very permanent.
Students who missed the reception should not worry, as it will be on exhibit until November 28th.
One event during Family Weekend tested the skill and teamwork of USF students, family, and alumni. A simple tournament which created a fun, lighthearted atmosphere. Rihanna Bannock has the story.
Among the many events during homecoming week, friends and family were able to get together for a pleasant game of cornhole.
Four, yep. 20-5.
The tournament kicked off Family Weekend the evening of Friday, September 23rd. Several students partnered with family members for some good competition or just for fun.
Leisurely. When we are camping or with other friends. These guys are more competitive.
I want to win. I'm competitive.
Whatever. As long as we're having fun.
No matter how their game went, many were glad they attended the tournament.
Sure. Helps gather people together from all over the place. It's good.
Including USF alumni David.
Well, it keeps you a little bit limber, you know, in the competition and being with other people. I did come last year, but otherwise I've gone to the games for a couple years, but nothing else.
Others played the cornhole tournament in hopes of winning the $50 Cougar Central gift card. In the end, the prize was given to this team of two brothers.
Good game.
Typically. We usually go against each other, yes. Yeah, yep. It's very competitive.
Just you get to meet new people, and it's just fun to do it. It's a good game overall.
Through this simple game of cornhole, many smiles and laughs were shared with friends and strangers alike. And win or lose, each player showed great sportsmanship. For the Vessel Online, I'm Rihanna Bannock.
The classic Midwest game lasted only an hour, but provided an entertaining evening for all players and spectators.
The USF Improv Club hosted its first show of the year over homecoming. The theme? The Wild West. The good, the bad, and the funny aimed to make spectators laugh with a unique blend of improvised acting, moving, and even singing. The event filled Big Z Hall with people nearing record-high attendance rates for an improv club meeting. Ben Wilmuth, the club's president, had this to say about the tournament.
Oh, the first show went, I think, fantastic. You know, we had a really good audience who were engaged with what we were doing. We had a dog. We never get dogs at our improv shows. No, but yeah, I was very pleased. We have a lot of, again, as I said before, a lot of people interested in improv. Even if they don't want to do it, they're still able to come to our shows and support us, and that's fantastic.
If you want to join in on the Improv Club's shenanigans, you can meet them in Big Z Hall every Monday and Thursday at 8 p.m.
Coming up, Connor Aldrich will take us through the homecoming game. Stay tuned for that and more after this break.
Hello, I'm Connor Aldrich, here to give you an overview of this year's football homecoming game. Later, we will also have an exclusive interview with a member of the USF football team. The Cougars, riding off of a 3-game winning streak, came back home to play against the University of Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs for the highly anticipated homecoming game. The game was an offensive battle going into the second quarter, tied at 14-14, but the defenses would not regain their footing and keep the game close going into halftime at 17-20, with USF holding the lead. UMD quickly resurged in the third quarter and take the lead, but thanks to an 80-yard drive led by quarterback Adam Mullen, the USF Cougars was able to walk away with a well-fought 31-34 win. Joining us now is Joseph Sapp, defensive back on the USF Cougars winning football team. Thank you for joining us, Joseph.
Thanks for having me, Connor.
Joseph Sapp, going back to the homecoming game, I know it was a little bit ago. How did you think the game went as a whole?
It was actually kind of rough. I felt like we were kind of losing it at the end, but then we found some life and pulled it out.
How could you explain the environment, not just as a team, but also as a crowd, as the Cougar environment?
My first season as a Cougar is the best crowd we had so far in the season. Super loud, bunch of people in the stands. You could definitely feel like whenever we score, the whole stadium will erupt. If they score, it's got kind of quiet, so it's fun.
Can you take me back to those last couple plays in the game? I know it was a little loud and shaky, but do you recall any of that?
So last couple plays were on defense, and they were trying to score to win, and I couldn't hear anything. The only thing I really heard was the cadence from the quarterback. Yeah, that's all I remember.
I know we have a rock-solid defense, so thank you, Joseph, for joining us. Congratulations on the win, and back to you, Izzy.
Homecoming was also an important week for the USF's band ensembles, marking their first concert of the year. Josh has more on that story.
The Homecoming Band Concert is an annual tradition that Jonathan Niederheiser, USF's Director of Instrumental Music, didn't think was going to happen this fall. With Homecoming's early arrival, having a concert ready in time seemed unlikely.
The development office, I thought we weren't going to do it this year because it was early, and the development office called and said, "Are you doing your outdoor concert?" Which we haven't done outdoors, but they did ask, "Are you doing the concert?" And I said, "Well, sure, we'll see what we can put together."
The concert landed on September 23rd, meaning that students had exactly 1 month to prepare their music. The program featured the chamber orchestra as well as the pop, blues, and jazz ensemble. Initially, the instrumentalists were going to take advantage of the mild September weather and play outside on the Science Center patio, but untimely rain meant the concert had to be moved to Big Z. Despite the setback, Niederheiser says he's happy with how the concert went.
I'm really excited. I think it went off really well, and the students really put in a lot of work, and I think it was a pretty great start.
The chamber orchestra, pop, blues, and jazz ensemble, and the wind ensemble will all make the return for their fall concert, Transformations, on October 23rd in the Meredith Auditorium at the Jeske Fine Arts Center. For the Vessel Online, I'm Josh Wary.
Tickets for the band's fall concert, Transformations, will be free for all in attendance.
One of the many events USF held during homecoming was their annual talent show, where 13 acts competed for a $100 cash prize. Sam Martin put together this video montage of the event.
But I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore.
A big congratulations to Casey Kennedy and Sydney Maudlin for winning this year's talent show.
Students, families, and faculty were invited to participate in the fun events such as lawn games, a dunk tank, inflatables, and enjoy treats from the snow cone truck. Students' involvement was encouraged as Cougar Activities Board President Alan Ejow volunteered as the first dunk tank participant, his school spirit on full display. The most popular events from Fall Fest included lawn games such as pong, Jenga, and volleyball, the latter receiving the most engagement and popularity as the night went on. One of the other popular events was 9 Square. 9 Square is played like your favorite childhood game of 4 Square, but there are 9 squares and it's played above you. The events received a high and overall positive turnout from students.
Thank you for joining us for our fall show.
We'll see you next semester with our spring show.